Hey everybody, it's Anna. Welcome back to my art channel and thank you for stopping by. So I'm very excited about today's painting. As you can see, I have some butterfly wings here. These are Blue Morpho wings and they're slippery because I have laminated them already, but these Blue Morpho wings, they're very shiny. Their blue color is structural, which is why they're kind of brown, but then they shine that beautiful metallic blue. So you may have seen my other paintings that use butterfly wings in them. If you haven't, click right here at this link that's popping up, and you can watch how I do that with regular butterfly wings. With the Blue Morphos, because the blue color is structural, if I glued them in a painting and then covered them with a varnish, all of the blue color would go away. So I make other things with butterfly wings, such as jewelry, and I knew from experience that I could laminate Blue Morpho wings and they would hold their color. So this is an experiment. I am trying to put laminated butterfly wings into a painting. So typically for jewelry, I use the 5mm laminator sheets. This I'm using the thinner 3mm laminator sheet because I want you to be able to see some of that texture of the wing through the plastic. Okay, so I'm excited about that. So I have these all laminated and cut, and they should be pretty well sealed so that no paint gets inside. But let me explain the rest of the concept. So it's going to be a Dutch pour kind of center blowout. So I want a white base, and then kind of a ring of these beautiful blue colors, and then a white center so that the white will blow over the colors and spread out, and then that lovely blue butterfly will be sitting in the center. So my paint, my base is this white from Creative Inspirations. I'm doing a paint and water Dutch pour today, so these are all higher quality, they're artist grade tube paints, not craft paint. And then this blue, I don't know how to describe this. This was table scrapings from another pour. And then this one is actually, this is Sargent metallic blue, which is more of a craft paint. So this one I've mixed a bit thicker because if I put too much water in it, sometimes it splits. So I'm going to see if it can still play along with the other colors, mixed a little bit thicker. Then I have bright aqua green from Blick Studio Acrylics. I have phthalo blue from Creative Inspirations. And can you see how thin that is? It runs right off the stick. A paint and water Dutch pour does feel watery, more watery than a Dutch-pour-with-floetrol. And then I have just a little bit of this Amsterdam King's Blue left, which I may add. And I have way more of these colors than I need. For this, I really only need maybe ½ ounce of each color, but I mixed up a bunch so that I would have it ready for other pours as well. So let me start by putting the base coat down on the canvas. Okay, then I'll just get my edges covered up. Okay, my paint is spread. Let me give it a quick torch. Whoops, got something in there, a little speck of something. Let me give it a torch to pop all of these air bubbles, because there are a lot. I'm even going to torch the edges because there's air bubbles along the sides of the canvas. So it's time to put down the colors. Instead of making a puddle in the middle, I'm going to put kind of a multicolored ring here. I don't want the center, the white center, to be huge because it will expand as it blows out. But I want there to be some space in the middle that's white so that the blue wings will stand out in it. So I'm going to start with my phthalo blue. And then some of this bright aqua green. I don't want, well, this is kind of my contrast color. The Morpho wing does not really have turquoise in it, but from certain angles it can have a bit of that turquoise look to it. So I want some of that in there to add some contrast. And then a little bit of this table scrapings blue. And then this metallic blue. When you're dealing with a butterfly that's shimmery blue, you kind of need some metallic. I wish I could have mixed this one thinner, so hopefully it doesn't cause problems, but I do want to add some of it. And then just a little bit of this King's blue. Okay, I think that's going to be plenty of paint here. I'm going to pour a little bit of extra white in the middle so that I can then blow that across. And I'm going to start out, since it has to go from such a small area out farther, I'm going to start the blowing just with my mouth to kind of extend that center area, and then I'll come in with the hairdryer. Okay, that looks great. Nice. Let me pour just a little bit more white in here because my center isn't as big as I wanted it to be. And I will pour just a little bit around the edges. I don't want a huge flow layer, but I do want it to be able to travel all the way across. Okay, let's give this a go. Wow. Wow. It really got covered. That paint moved. That's great. Okay, there are a couple areas where it didn't go all the way to the edge, so I'm just going to tweak those slightly. My center got slightly, there's like a chunk taken out of it. I'm going to see, let me add just a bit more white here and see if I can blow that over this blue just a little bit more. Wonderful. This is very nice. Let me rotate it so that I can see this side over here. Yeah, this is very pretty, and I think there's just about the perfect amount of space there in the middle for a butterfly to go. Before I add the butterfly, I definitely want to torch this a bit. See if I can bring up some cells, because I don't want to torch once the wings are in the paint. Okay, I have brought up some beautiful little fine details, especially here along the center area. So that's very nice. Now I need to figure out which side is going to be up so that I can lay the wings in the paint. Okay, I believe I like this pop of green up on the top. I think that's the best spot for it. So the next thing is to take my wings and just lay them out here so that I can see how, how the butterfly is supposed to be. I think that'll be perfect. It may end up being slightly below the center of the canvas just because this is not a totally centered spot, but it's close enough. So I do want to have the butterfly centered in the white. So I've got a little pair of forceps here, and I'm just going to pick up my wing and set it down in the paint. Okay, so that's one of the bottom wings. That looks good. Also, when they're laminated, it's a lot flatter. You don't have to push down to contact it so much. Just make sure it's touching. Okay, next one. Okay, let me nudge it up just slightly. There we go, that's pretty even. And it is slightly off center in the white, but the white is off center, so I think it'll be okay. Okay, so now the top wings, I'm gonna have to come in from oh, lovely. Perfect. Great. And then this one. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Nice and even. Trying to make sure the butterfly is, straight in the canvas. Oh, wow. So I'm looking at it to see the metallic shine of the wings. It's pretty cool. Okay, so all the wings are in. So as I'm looking at my edges here, I do see that I think it's the metallic blue did split just a little bit along the edge, which is okay because I can come in with a brush and touch up the edges if I need to. The rest of it seems to be fine, but when it travels down that horizontal surface, the Sargent metallic blue with water just doesn't work as well. But this is amazing. I want to give you a close-up, so let's go and do that. All right, here it is. So first of all, I just want to show you how pretty these Blue Morpho wings are when the light hits them right. Wow, look at that! So shiny. So it's like metallic paint, but then there's the texture of the, you know, the veins in the wings. So that's really cool. But then here in the paint, we have some nice little cells brought up by the torch. These beautiful wispy areas. I do love the way good quality paint and water Dutch pours. They make a very dreamy, blown out effect where the colors just blend really nicely. So there's that little pop of the aqua green, and then some nice little cells. I like that I was able to get some little cells here in the center, so it's not a really boring white blob in the middle. So very, very cool. I can't wait to show you this when it is dry. So I turned the camera off and totally forgot that I was also going to add antennae to the paint. If you use real antennae instead of just painting them on, it looks more realistic and it adds a slight bit of texture, which is really fun. So I have a couple of antennae right here, and I'm just going to be placing them carefully into the wet paint, sort of above where the head would go. Obviously these things are super delicate, so it's kind of tricky. Okay, that's not totally straight, but I think I can kind of maneuver it back. Well, those kind of, they're getting covered a bit by paint, but as the paint dries, the paint level will go down and you'll be able to see the texture of the antennae better, and I can touch them up slightly with a brush, but that way it looks a little bit better. So that's how I do that. Okay, and now I will see you when this is dry, and I will show you how I add how I brush paint the body and the head to make it look like a real butterfly. Okay, so it is dry. It's looking great. You can't see a whole lot of the metallic sheen because some of the paint is a bit shiny itself, but the butterfly, of course, is amazing. So now it's time to do the touch-ups. So I'm going to start by painting a body and touching up these antennae so that they look a little bit blacker. And then I will touch up the places where the blue color split on the edge. So there's a basic body, just done with black paint, which I have to decide. I think I'm going to add, I mixed up a color that's black with some gold to make it a bit more of a muted color, which is actually more like the butterfly itself is. Just because these wings have faded slightly, and so what used to be black is not pure black anymore. And I don't want the body to look strange next to the actual wings. I want it to look very, very organic. So I'm going to dull down this color just slightly. Okay, so there's the body. I think I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to take some of the black paint and just carefully brush it along these antennae, trying not to touch the white paint below, but just that raised area. There we go. With those nice antennae. They're a little darker, so they've got some texture, but they haven't sunk in the paint. So there's the body, and now I will touch up the sides, because as you can see, some of that paint split and it doesn't look awesome. There we go. That looks a lot better. Awesome. So here it is, dry and finished. Look how pretty that is. I do love how from certain angles it shines with that same turquoise color that's right up there. So it dried very nicely. Beautiful designs. There's going to be some shimmer once it's varnished. I can't varnish it for a few weeks because I gotta wait for the paint to cure. But there is the butterflies. So with that body painted on. And then I wanted to show you, you can see the texture of the wings even through that plastic. So I think that'll be a really cool effect. And then even those antennae, you can see that they're not just painted on. So that's why I like using real ones, even though it is a little bit trickier. So it is all done, just gotta cure, and then I will varnish it. Probably spray varnishing it, just because of the wings. I want to make sure that I don't do anything that's going to make the lamination start to separate or anything like that. So if you'd like to see how I do that, you can click this link that's popping up, and that'll take you to one of my other paintings that has butterfly wings inside. And at the end of that video, you will see the finishing process. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and that it inspired you to try something new. Please come back to my channel and check out some of my other videos, and I will see you for the next one. Bye!